I meant to say that one too. Okay. Hola, mi gente. Greetings. ¿Cómo estamos? How are we? It is me, la negra que tiene sazón. Che Alejandro, of Sprinkled with Sazon Apothecary and Botanica. Hi, Leo. How are you? My moon signs. How you doing, babes? I'm here to talk about the full moon in Gemini that's happening this Sunday, December 15th. So you know, this Sunday, December 15th, the full cold moon in Gemini that is sitting square the Sun and Neptune, conjunct Mercury going direct. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, Leo, my baby lion cubs, how the hell are you? How you doing? Because baby, Mars entered into your sign on Friday, last Friday, just 7 days ago. Retrograde, running backwards like a bat out of hell, and it's only been 7 days, and the calamity, the chaos that has ensued, okay? United Healthcare, the damn F train 2 days ago in New York City, Syria, South Korea. What's really good, Mars? What's really good, Leo? We know that Mars is the god of war, and we thought that Mercury retrograde was a problem. We didn't know, bitch. Nobody was prepared, okay? So we know that Mars is the god of war. We get it. It is the parent planet of Aries, who's a fellow fire sign. I didn't know y'all was cool like that, though. I knew y'all were fire signs and y'all was cool. Y'all saw eye to eye, flame to flame. I got that. I didn't know it was going to be like this, though. Did you know, Leo? Because you have warned us, because this shit has been crazy. So I hope that you are doing very well. The Leos that I know have been struggling, okay, because Mars really just burst onto the scene and started busting shit at the seams, right? And said, this is not working. I don't like you. Fuck your little dog too. This gotta go XYZ. So I hope that you have been taking care of your physical self and your wellness, right? Like your actual mental health and well-being, saying no to people, walking away from conflicts and confusion. I mentioned this, and I'm going to continue to do so because it's necessary to remember and to repeat to yourself when things get really thick. If you are watching this channel, if you are subscribed here on my IG anywhere, then you are a person who is connected to the elements, connected to the source, connected to mysticism. You understand kind of more than the average Joe that there is something greater happening beyond what we can see, right? So when things start to get so confusing or frustrating, you have to really rely on that knowledge to not lose your mind and not wig out, right? So for example, I live in New York City. I was traveling, I was commuting at the time when the power outage happened in New York City. Now, I'm a psychic. I'm legit a psychic, not just on social media, but in our real life too, right? So I sat there on the train and I could feel it. I was like, something is not right. Nothing really was happening for me to feel that way, but I'm just a native New Yorker. I've been commuting on the trains my whole life, and I'm also a psychic. So I sat there and I said, nothing has been announced. Nothing is running late or delayed. There's nothing in particular that would make me feel this way, but I can feel it, right? Something's not right. So I sat there. By the time I made it to my destination, my first stop, and then had to come back, everything was in disarray, right? The platforms were super overcrowded. They were rerouting everything. You can't understand. Oh, take the J to the C to the B. This train is gonna take over this line and do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, right? And in that moment, when I could have been like everyone else, was super tempted to jump into this mode of frustration because it was very chaotic and I really wanted to get home and it was really cold and I had my child and everything. I had to take one deep breath in through my nose, out through my mouth, and ground myself for 5 seconds in that crusty, dusty, overpacked, overcrowded, steaming train station. And I looked at my daughter and I said, we're going to go the other way. She said, what other way? I said, the other way. I said, baby, you are a native New Yorker. So you need to start recognizing that there's always another way to get home. So we're going to go take this uptown, one stop, take this train, move, boom, boom. And as we started to make this happen, I said out loud to my daughter, I said, look at these people. No, she mentioned to me, she said, look at these people getting so frustrated. I said, well, it's a rush hour commute. People really want to go home. This is the worst time for this type of shit to happen. I said, but I want you to understand, this is a Mars retrograde. and a Mercury retrograde. This is ruled by Ogun, and information is being delayed at this time, right? This is a very spicy, fiery time, and we have to honor the astrology. So I can't afford to get upset because I will be fueling the fire. I don't know how many people on this platform know that we're in the middle of a Mars retrograde. If more people knew or adhered to that knowledge, maybe it would have been an easier commute. There would have been less frustration. People would have just took deep breaths and said, okay, what's the alternative route? But everything is so compounded because of the retrogrades and because it's in this fire and air element. So for you, Leo, because you are a fire sign and it's happening in your sign, you have to be most careful about explosions, conflicts, tensions, headaches, specifically any issues with your heart, blood, or circulation. So if you're feeling numbness or tingling, get it checked out over this weekend in particular. If you are feeling heart palpitations or like clotting in your blood or dizzy, or you're feeling anemic, low in fatigue and iron, it's a time to check it out. It's not the time for you to say, oh, that's not important. This transit is going to be in your sign until February. Until January 6th, it's going to be in Leo. Then it's going to be retrograde in Cancer. But you need to be very, very, very careful. Very, very careful of stress and inflammation and how you invite that into your life and how you're coping with it. So now, Leo, is not the time for you to take all your liberties and have your comfort snacks and, the things that maybe are not necessarily good for you, because, again, the heightened intensity is compounded in your sign, and it will lead to weight gain. It will lead to acute inflammation, stress, and chronic health issues that might start out the blue now and then build and become bigger issues, because it's happening during this retrograde in your sign. So be careful, please. I'm also going to recommend to you at this time cooling herbs and foods, wearing more blue and white, eating more blue foods, drinking more water, of course. Herbs like lemon balm, spearmint, Venus herbs, and also a theme of forgiveness is what is settling on my spirit as I came to check in with you, Leo. So there's also a highlight on paternal figures at this time because of Mars, and it's the Emperor energy in the tarot. So forgiveness around father wounds, forgiveness to paternal figures. If your father's also a Leo, it may be super compounded. But these are all themes for you that are coming up as I sat to prepare for you, Leo. So let's get into your messages. These are general messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, 10th house, midheaven, Venus, Lilith, and Chiron placements. And Leo and Mars specifically as well. Spirit, holy angels, we ask that only spirits of light enter into this space, and the spirits of darkness continue to find their light elsewhere. You are not welcomed here. Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros su reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestra pan de cada día y perdónanos nuestras ofensas como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en la tentación y líbranos del mal, porque tuyo es el reino, el poder y la gloria por siglos y los siglos. Amén. Ashe, amén. Leo. Yes, it's general, right? It's not for everybody. Take what's yours. And if you like what I got to say, click the link below. You know how that go. You can find me in all the ways. Oof, Leo, Leo, Leo. Lots of breaking happening. Swords, 3 swords, 9 pentacles, page swords, 4 swords. That's witchcraft in this deck. 1 ace of wands, wild card. 4 wands, yeah. Somebody trying to do witchcraft, but they're not going to win. 9 swords. You're too protected. 2 pentacles underneath. I mean, inverted. What? Another wild card. 5 wands. Yeah, somebody's really trying to work you. Work your nerves. King cups. Yep. God damn. I hate this for you, Leo. Because I feel like this Mars transit is highlighting a lot of this too. It's highlighting conflict that you didn't expect is the thing. So Mars retrograde is going to highlight conflict for all of us. Even if it's not conflict like fight, like somebody comes to you and say, oh, I got a problem with you in third grade, I didn't like what you said, bitch. It might just be like chaos, right? So for me personally, since this transit, literally, I shot my video, I posted it on IG to talk about the transits, and then I got a phone call. So-and-so was in the hospital with a heart condition. I said, oh shit, I just said this. I just said that the heart is focused now. And what? My own family. Then the very next day, now mind you, the family member of mine who's in the hospital with a heart condition is an Aquarius, okay? Then I got a phone call from my Aquarius sibling, that their partner, who is a Sagittarius, is in the hospital with a circulation condition. And then I got another phone call on Sunday. So this is back to back. Mars moved into Leo. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have 3 people in the hospital, all falling in line with the planetary and the elemental themes. So it's really, really important that you are taking your time, digesting the information that comes to you and not reacting. And it may be not for you necessarily. It's not conflict like a fight, but it's like, shit, juggling so much information coming out of nowhere so fast, right? And so that feels like conflict. It feels like a fight because you're fighting for your life, essentially. But what's coming through here for you, first and foremost, Leo, is that I do sense that there is some trouble, some spiritual trouble here. So this can be spiritual misalignment within of yourself. So maybe you have a spiritual court that you need to be tending to better and more properly. And now you started a strong relationship with them, but you haven't followed through. You haven't continued. And now they are trying to draw your attention more. And so they're causing chaos in your life. Sometimes our well-meaning, well-to-do spirit guides will allow these type of things to happen because they're trying to remind you, you cannot just come and ask me for what you want and then desert me. You cannot just pull up when it's convenient for you and milk me for all of my resources and then not ever sing my praises or say my name again. So Leo got a similar, this is Leo. Cancer got a similar message. So for some of you, a select few of you, there is discord happening in your life because Spirit is trying to teach you a lesson. But for the majority of whoever this resonates for, I am sensing that there is spiritual warfare here. So for some of you, that means that you are being actively thrown at. Somebody is actively trying to stop your roads, block your roads, take away your prosperity, end your relationships, end your life for some of you. For others, you are battling ancestral and generational karma that is coming up. So maybe it was on a lull, and maybe it's coming back now at this time under the light of this full moon. Messages will start to come from family, from the paternal side of your family in particular, trying to ruin relationships that you repaired, or trying to just tug at your heartstrings or pull things out of you or get you to come out of character is what I'm feeling. That's a sign of spiritual warfare. For others of you, it seems like there are a lot of monitoring spirits. So if there are people coming back into your life at this time, Leo, that you haven't heard from in a long time, but now they have a seemingly vested interest in your life and in your future, I'm going to beg you to have a little bit of caution. If you haven't spoken to this friend since college and now all of a sudden they're calling you every other week and they want to know what's going on with you, why? How can you contribute to what you think I have going on? Tell me what you think you see. Oh, I see you on social media. You're doing so good, girl. How can you help? What about what you saw made you piqued your interest enough for you to reach out to me? Because if this person doesn't have anything to contribute, then please trust and believe they are there to take. And we can't afford that right now, Leo. And again, that's a sign of spiritual warfare. Is spiritual monitoring, and nobody needs that. For the other person or people who this resonates for, this is an actual throw. This is actual enemies who don't like you, want to see you losing, and they paid somebody, a practitioner, they went to a palero, they went to a santera, they went to somebody, they put some money down and they said, in that bitch. And for some of you, this is the residuals of breaking that. So some of you knew that you actively got thrown at. You knew that you had enemies who were spiritual. Some of you knew that there was ancestral karma on you, and you went to someone and got cleansed and got it broken. And now it may be feeling like you're still fighting because it's being broken. So you may be feeling depressed, angry, irritated, frustrated. Yeah, look at that. Whatever, right? Because you are being refurbished. I'm hearing the words literally broken in. You're being broken in. almost rebaptized, recreated after you've been destroyed. You're being reconstructed. So Leo, if that applies to you in particular, that last part, please know that if it feels like witchcraft and you've already done the spiritual investigation, you already did the baths, you have somebody that you work with, you've said your prayers, you have your spiritual core, you attend to your altars, you do your things, then know that this work is being taken from you, it's breaking off of you. But for those of you who have not done a formal investigation, those of you who feel like it may be something more spiritually malignant, but you haven't identified it yet, this is the time to certainly investigate that, because it does seem like there are a lot of monitoring eyes, a lot of wandering spirits, a lot of fake smiles, plastic smiles, a lot of false friendships that are being created and introduced to you at this time, because people see that there is prosperity for you on the way, Leo. You have 2 wild cards here, 2 kings here. Both kings are sitting upright after they fall after these wild cards. So I do see that under the light of this Gemini full moon, you can probably expect a little bit more frustration. I'm not going to lie to you. It does feel like this weekend will feel more like purging. It will feel like, I feel like you want to scream, Leo. That's the energy I'm getting here. It's like with this 4 of Swords, it's like, the fuck, right? But then you also have the 4 of Wands. That's like, okay, after you scream and let that out, then we can scream for joy as well. It'll be a joyful release come morning, right? So this weekend, my advice for you, Leo, is to take it slow. Like I said, keep yourself cool and calm. Don't engage. When people want to pull out their swords and challenge you to a duel, you back the fuck up and you say, baby, you got it. Because if I give it, you gonna really have it. Okay, so you got it. I don't want to fight. What's the rest of your advice, Spirit, for Leo, for the Leo collective under this Gemini full moon? What do they need to know? First house, arrival. Cancer, immerse. Retrograde, review. Opposition, confrontation. See, I told you. You want to review that. You want to review that, honey. Solar flares, activate. I'm not going to take those. So number 17, solar flares, activate. First house, number 39, arrival. Number 4, Cancer, immerse. Number 53, opposition, confrontation. Number 15, retrograde, review. So yeah, Leo, so review any confrontation or oppositions that you have had. Who are your enemies? Who would be your local enemies, right? In your building, in your home, in your household, in your family dynamic. Sometimes you're sleeping with the enemy. Sometimes your bedmate, your lover, your homie lover friend, your husband, your whomever is your biggest fucking op. So maybe you need to take a review and see if this person that you loving, are you who they love and who they want to be hugging, right? That's number 1. Then continue to expand. Do I have enemies in this household? Do I have enemies on this floor of my building, in the rest of this building, on the rest of this block, in this community, in my work environment? Review your confrontations and your oppositions. Make a list of people who you feel may be enemies, people who may do spiritual work, may have put money down to do the work on you. It's time to pay attention to that, because some of you have snakes in your grass and you're afraid to believe that these people would really harm you. Cancer, immerse. First house, arrival, and solar flares, activate. So yeah. So Leo, it's time for you to begin to activate your arrival as a villain. I'm going to be honest with you. Cancer, immerse. Immersing yourself in what you pretend is your shadow is something that is very, very needed for you. Leo is not typically a sign who likes to pounce on people. You're the lion, the king of the jungle. You can do what the fuck you want, but you just like to love, right? You like, love me. I want to love you. Tell me that I look nice so I can tell you you look nice too. Let's go out to eat. Let's have a good time. You know, let's do the thing. Let's be creative and make art and make love. That is Leo's goal, their theme, their desire, their passion for the world. However, you're still a lion. You can still really, really fight when you need to. And I feel like you sometimes forget that. In your quest to make sure that other people forget that because you don't want to unleash the dragon, right? I think that sometimes, Leo, you forget that you too are a fighter. And you don't necessarily need to be in confrontation with other people. Sometimes you need to fight yourself a little bit better. You need to be honest with yourself and say, I'm self-sabotaging. I'm harming myself. I'm in my own way. And that's why I said some of your spirit guides are allowing for some fuck shit to happen, for some discomfort to happen, for some chaos to happen. But for others of you, I need you to stand up and really roar like the lion that you are and let people know, I'm not backing down. I disagree with what you did or what you said. This is the last time you got me fucked up. And if they are trying to fight fire with fire and throw at you spiritually, maybe you need to find yourself a practitioner and get with the program and do the same. I don't know. And if you need help with that, the link to all the things I do is in the description box below. I'm going to leave it there, Leo. I love you. And I hope that you do amazing. I hope that you do amazing for the rest of this weekend. Remember that this is not a full moon for us to really do too much. It's an observation moon because it is a mercurial moon in the sign of Gemini. But the context in which it's sitting in with Mercury and these other planets is just not brave or smart or wise to do anything but just rock back and make yourself feel good, okay? It's Friday. It's Venus Day. Dote on yourself. Love yourself. Buy some champagne. Buy some red roses for your home. And take it easy, okay? Take it easy this weekend. I love you, Leo. I hope that was helpful for someone. And if it was, please do like and comment and share it and subscribe to it. Every 100 followers, every new 100 followers, I will be randomly selecting to receive something free from me. So Tatiana C won, and she was my 100th follower in general. But now when I get to 200 followers, I'm gonna scroll through my list, see who I can pick to get a goodie. And it may be a bath, it may be a tarot reading, it may be a mediumship consultation, it may be anything. Maybe a dinner with me, a free outing with me. We never know. We never know who it's gonna be or what it's gonna be until the day of. But every 100 new followers, excuse me. So when I get to 200, we'll get a winner. So please do make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you can be in the running for that. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I hope to see you in one of my private spaces soon. Come get your readings. Year ahead readings now for 2025 are filling up quickly. The last available date for 2025 readings will be January 31st. 2025. And I'm going to close the registration for that probably the week before, or January 20th, more than likely. So you have about a month to continue to book out with me for the year aheads. But if you miss the year ahead, Spirit Speaks Tarot readings and all the other services are going to be open. And I hope to see you soon. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. Peace. Happy full moon, Leo.